Damn it, I bumped the button that stops my phone from recording. I'm still recording on the Obamaphone right now. There's a button on the side, the one that locks the screen. And if I bump it while I'm recording video, it just it stops the recording and locks the screen. So I am on, ooh, that's blinding, 18th Street. 18th Street in Jackson. Wonder what this guy's doing. Dude in his big old truck, he's lost. Anyway, as I was saying, before I cut myself off, I hit the wrong damn button on my phone. Right around the turn of the century, there's some interesting graffiti. Wish my vision was good enough to read it. Around the turn of the century, 1999, 2000, 2001, I used to spend a lot of time on IRC, which is Internet Relay Chat, on the Undernet network, in a channel that was called Pound Arizona. That was before they called the pound sign hashtags. And there was a gal that used to not chat much in that channel, that was in that channel a lot. And her and I used to have these incredibly deep conversations about city planning. I don't remember her name, and I never met her in person, but she said that she worked for the City of Phoenix Zoning Department, Planning Department, and explained to me how they would condemn properties in parts of town where the city was trying to acquire as much property as they could for redevelopment, which is clearly what's going on here. I mean, as you saw as I was driving down Madison Street, there were several lots that all had the exact same signage on it. You know, City of Phoenix, gravel placed over it in the City of Phoenix, what have you. The City of Phoenix, no trespassing signs. Oh, look at that. Underneath the 16th Street overpass, we got a little homeless encampment going on. Got some tents and stuff. That's an intense situation under there. Bump. Anyway, she told me a lot about how that was done, and the more she'd tell me about it, I really kind of got this vibe that the city would prey on people that couldn't afford to really maintain their properties as a way to acquire the land and get large, and basically try to acquire full areas and neighborhoods that way. It's definitely a homeless person living in an RV there. Apparently not even really messed with either. It's kind of neat how there's this little piece of 16th Street underneath. Little piece of 16th Street underneath the overpass of 16th Street. I dig stuff like this. Now, judging from the design of this bridge, I would say this overpass was done probably early 1970s. I have no idea what 16th Street was like before, but probably a surface street with old-fashioned railroad crossings where you had to wait for the train. I dig Jackson Street. You know, it used to be before Jackson Street got interrupted by the I-10 freeway behind me, and by the Bank One ballpark, which you can see ahead in the distance in front of me. It used to be you could completely drive across town on Jackson Street. I remember using it as kind of a thoroughfare when I first became a cab driver in the early '90s, as a way to avoid traffic during rush hour. So you could drive all the way from 24th Street to 15th Avenue on Jackson, and you went under every major street. You didn't have to deal with cross traffic. But now it doesn't work, because now it ends at 7th Street because of the ballpark, and then of course it doesn't continue and doesn't cross where I-10 is. But all of that wasn't there yet when I first became a cab driver. The other thing that was really interesting about, at least to me, about Jackson Street back then is Jackson Street had rails in it, had train rails on it, so you'd be actually driving on there were train tracks embedded in the street, and occasionally there'd be freight trains on it, and all these warehouses, there were little spur routes, little spur tracks that would go up to the loading docks on all these warehouses on Jackson. Back when freight was moved directly by rail as opposed to by semi-trucks in multimodal containers that got transferred from the trucks to the trains. Yeah, all these warehouses on the right, all these loading docks, and originally were made for loading onto trains. I saw a lime rental scooter on the right there. I used to live in that little warehouse on the left. That's another story in and of itself, which I don't think I want to wander into. But that building's where my older daughter said her first full sentences. That was a pretty wild moment. But yeah, as you see, the road's cut off by a baseball stadium. But it used to be you could just drive on into downtown Phoenix on Jackson Street, right there, underneath the 7th Street overpass. Oh, wow. 220 South 9th Street, tenants only. Never seen that gate closed before. The West Tech Recycling store is right there in that building. And 220 South 7th Street. Oh, and there's their sign. West Tech Recyclers. They used to actually be down in the zone for a long time, and I'm glad they got out of that building when they did, because it was kind of sketchy, 15 years ago when I used to go there to get parts, electronic parts and stuff. But now that area is crazy sketchy. I'm just killing a Saturday afternoon. Let's go that way. I miss Jackson Street being a thoroughfare. That used to be one of those fun streets to cross downtown on back in the 80s and 90s. Now to get into downtown from this area, you got to go north on 9th Street. Wait through this long-ass traffic light. And it is a long-ass traffic light. And go up another block and wait through that long-ass traffic light and turn left on Washington. So I suppose now is as good of a time as any to explain what happened, what all's been happening with Priscilla. Because I keep saying I'm going to come back to it. I definitely want to let that out. So In last Saturday's video, I was like, oh, here comes a light rail. That bell sounded really cool due to the Doppler effect. I hope y'all could hear that. So yeah, I think I've vented quite a bit about like what happened with Priscilla last week. As far as we had 2 days that she invited me into her bed, and one of them she basically just came on to me very aggressively sexually, which is what I like. That's what I like. She knows that's what I like, and that was amazing. The next day, we also got it on. However, she was much more passive and was kind of not that into it, and then threw out this, you should marry me. Really? You know, and I missed the golden opportunity to just simply answer, I'd never marry a smoker. But but of course I wouldn't have said that because I was, trying to get it on 2 days in a row. I mean, I'm definitely happiest when I'm in a relationship where I'm getting sex daily. So, which that's what our relationship used to be. It hasn't been that for a long time, but it used to be that. And it was that before we lived together. In fact, that ended when we were living together, which is, all the more reason for me to not want to live with a woman. Like when she's wanting me and begging me to come over to her place, like that's a lot more exciting to me than her always being at my place and then not wanting to give it up, just taking up my space. But anyway, so yeah, the next day, it was I was a little taken back by the whole "you should marry me" crap, but and while the sex wasn't great or enthusiastic, it at least happened. Went to sleep. Went to work the next day, and then the day after that, I think I left. I think that was when I had my TDR training, and so I left home from work early, and I wasn't really hearing from her. Like I hadn't got any texts for her, so I just, rather than try to go to her place, especially as tired as I was, I just went straight home. Went to sleep. And kind of woke up in the morning. Woke up around the time I would normally be going to sleep, and she kind of nice to see downtown Phoenix popping this much on a Saturday evening. It's around 5:30 right now. We got some kind of event going on right there on Central. I think they're going to completely, permanently pedestrianize that, by the way, Central between Washington and Jefferson. Pretty sure that's the plan for that. With light rail tracks going through it. Anyway, I'm tripping out on all the spin bicycles that I'm seeing around here, as opposed to just the usual spin scooters. Not enjoying driving into this. Yay, a red light. Normally I'm not too enthusiastic about red lights, but I'm kind of wanting to stop for a moment, collect my thoughts. Arizona Financial Theater on the right used to be Dodge Theater. The Federal District Courthouse, the Sandra Day O'Connor Courthouse on the left. Tell all sorts of stories about both places. But that's not the story I'm trying to get out right now. I'm trying to talk about what happened with Priscilla and how things have kind of fallen apart in the last week. Oh, give it a rest. It's my 5:30 time to get up and go to work alarm. Why are you dinging, car? My car likes to ding. I should really be Googling how to disconnect that noisemaker because I've had about enough of it. Anyway, so the next day, so I want to say it was Monday morning, enthusiastic sex. Tuesday morning, wow, that chick on the scooter, this chick on the scooter was really fine. I would love to meet a woman that likes to go out and do that kind of stuff and looks like that in a pair of shorts. That's what I'm wanting right there. Anyway, there's the 4th Street Jail on the left. Could tell lots of interesting stories about that as well. Wow, and Madison Street completely closed going to the left. And I'm back on Jackson Street, which, as I was saying, used to be a thoroughfare. Get back on it. And of course, I'm not going to be able to see much because I'm going right into the damn sun. The Ice House on the left. And that used to be the spot for raves in the 90s. Looks like they got an event or something planned for it tonight. Looks like they're setting up something in there tonight. So anyway, Tuesday, daytime. Kind of less than enthusiastic sex while she's making ridiculous comments about I should marry her. Yeah, you're not even roommate material. What the hell makes you think you're marriage material? Like seriously, she had two years to show she was capable of keeping a clean kitchen and a clean bathroom. I'm like, no, you failed at that. Sorry. And you're still smoking cigarettes. No, sorry. Heading into the zone right now. Oh man, the other day I drove through here and I thought I was shooting it Thursday morning. And I had the Obamaphone shooting, but it was like super dim and you couldn't really see anything. And then I was holding the iPhone and I was turning it side to side, narrating what I could see because it was just craziness down here in the zone as the sun was coming up. And, ooh, look at that there. Yeah, the homeless people are enjoying those Lime scooters. I don't know what they're doing with them, but they got some down there. And apparently I didn't hit the button on the iPhone to record, so everything I was seeing in my iPhone was just showing me what it would be recording if I had hit the damn record button. Oh, talk about some disappointment. I still haven't gotten to the point of editing that stuff, so I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with that video. All the good quality video I thought I was getting on my iPhone. The stuff that I was shooting with the Obamaphone looked like crap. What is this fool doing? Yeah, you're standing in the middle of the street. What are you doing, dude? What the hell is that? Wow, it's insanity rolling through here. It really is. Oh, and there's the line of people waiting to go in and eat dinner at the Andre House. Now, see, that line used to be on the sidewalk where all those tents are. Nobody would ever actually block the street like this. After my divorce, there was a better part of a year where I ate dinner here almost every day because I was home. I was quasi-homeless, and I was really broke. And the meals that were served here were pretty decent. Wow, this is insane. I sure hope my car doesn't stall out. I'm going to get back to my story about what all went down in the last week and a half with Priscilla once I get out of the zone. This is a lot more intense than what I thought I was driving into. It's feeding time. In case y'all wondering why there's so many homeless people down there, it's because they feed them. Like, why are there stray cats around my building? Because me and the other neighbors feed them. It's the same kind of thing. You get stray people down here because they feed them. And don't get me wrong, like, I think feeding people is a good thing, but something needs to change with this. This is crazy. Definitely has to absolutely suck for all the business owners and homeowners down there, having all this nastiness in the easement along the sidewalks. That empty block right there to the left, that used to be where St. Vincent de Paul was. Now they're part of the whole, what they call the Campus for Care, which is, as I was driving down Jackson, the Campus for Care is on the left. In fact, that's part of it on the right. That spiky fence that you see on the right is the outside boundary of the Campus for Care, which is a whole lot of houses a whole lot of different programs for the homeless and downtrodden. And let's go and block the street, man. American Valet. Wow. Yeah, there was a business in that building on the left. Now it just says available. Who wants to rent that when you got this directly across the street? Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, once they opened the Campus for Care thing, that's where Salvation Army moved there, or St. Vincent de Paul. Now I can't remember if it was Salvation Army or St. Vincent de Paul. Whatever it was where that blank block was on the left. That's where they moved all their stuff. They served lunch every day. Like when I was homeless, it was lunch there, and then dinner at the Andre House. And as I spent the rest of my time either in the county law library or in the state law library. I love the murals here on the left. Nourish Phoenix, 501 South. That's a food bank. That mural looks really cool and pretty fresh. Glad nobody's defaced it at all. But I hope people can at least respect what that is and not deface that. This is Lincoln Street. West Tech Recyclers had some warehouses over here too. I don't know if they still do, or if they've moved all their operations over all their operations over to by the wow, I just found where Spin is headquartered at. Just wandering around wasting time. Let's get out and explore that. You know, it's kind of funny. As soon as I hit the tracks, like the whole homeless encampment just ends. It's got to be a situation where Phoenix, like the police and the authorities tolerate it north of the tracks, and they don't tolerate it south of the tracks. Which I still find bizarre. Like, how do you as a municipality justify tolerate something that's supposed to be illegal in one little area but not in another little area. Like, why are there no tents along these streets? Why is it allowed 3 blocks north of here, but it's not allowed here? And it's such an extreme nastiness level, 3 blocks north of here. I mean, how is it that there's absolutely no tents between the curb and the building on the left? Now, I do see an RV that I bet there's some homeless people living in. But to be fair, the people that own that RV seem to be keeping it pretty nice and clean looking. And presumably also registered. Ooh, it's not looking as nice up close, though. Oh, yeah. There's definitely people living in an RV. Probably living in that car, too, with its smashed out headlight. I wonder if I'm going to be able to park on this street. I don't know if it was designated no parking or not. No, I don't see a no parking sign, so presumably I can park here. Wouldn't want to leave my car here overnight, but I'm just walking to check out this here, 621 South. Which is clearly the headquarters, the Phoenix headquarters of Spin. I've said it a million times on this vlog, I miss working for Lime. I like that. I like how that fence is made out of just broken old reclaimed brick and the iron mesh holding it up. That's really decorative and cool. Look at that. Yeah, that's where they rebuild their scooters. Scooter parts. So we got a whole scooter graveyard going on here. Hope y'all can see it through the Spin bike over there, and these all look to be functional scooters. Probably put out as many as they need. I see one with a pink. I see some with pink tags on it. Maybe these are ones that need repairs. Who knows? I can only speculate what all these scooters are. So many scooters, though. Wow. Hope y'all are able to see that through the fence. Sorry, this phone makes such shitty recordings. Oh no, those tags just say open the Lyft app. Open the Lyft app and take a spin. So yeah, Spin partnered up with Lyft. Yeah, Lyft used to have their own scooters. They were all initially they were all Xiaomi M365s that were modified, and then later they switched to a modified version of the 9-bot ES4. Wow, these to me look like older discontinued models. Here, y'all see that? Those things are definitely they're fading in the sun in a big way. Yeah, these are not the model. You know what? Yeah, these are definitely the old ones, because these are not the model that I'm seeing out on the road at all. But I remember when these used to be everywhere, all over Scottsdale, anyway. So yeah, these are the discontinued ones. God knows what they're doing with them. And that looks like a newer model one there. Obviously getting some work done on it. Good times. I really did enjoy my ride on the Spin scooter the other day. When I about a week ago, when I rode it from Pierce Park over to in front of the Walmart before I walked across the street to get my temporary registration from BLS. that was fun. I was a little taken aback by how expensive it was, but and because of how expensive it was, it's not something I'm going to do very often. But I certainly enjoyed the ride. I got a free ride on a scooter, by the way, the next day. I was kind of alluding to that on one of my videos not too long ago, and then I don't know, got sidetracked talking about something else. Typical shit with me. What you call it? It was the day I was going to get my insurance. Oh, and I that's what I said. Yeah, so shoot a lot of video. I forget what the hell morning it was, but going to get my insurance. And the last video that I for sure know recorded was me getting off the bus and going to my insurance agency, LA Insurance over there on Thomas and like 26th Street. Or I think it's 25th Place, but anyway. And I mentioned that I shot video after that, but that somehow the Obamaphone crashed and it didn't properly save the video. I still haven't managed to see if I can. I still haven't managed to restore that video. I did try to do that this morning, by the way. I think it let me download it to my iPhone, but my iPhone will not open it in anything. I have it uploaded to my Microsoft OneDrive cloud. But yeah, it wouldn't let me open it with anything. It's a pretty big file. Let me get to a spot where I can park again. And am I ever going to finish the story about what happened with Priscilla? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Yeah, you know, since iOS is so locked down, I'm pretty sure I've downloaded it onto my iPhone, but I can't open it with anything, and I can't like browse to the file itself. I think it's just holding it as cache within my Microsoft OneDrive. This is like a little check mark showing that it's there local, but it's a big file. It's 3.54 gigs. At least that's what the Microsoft OneDrive shows its file size as. It shows a slightly different amount when I go through it in my gallery, in my Android gallery on my Obamaphone. So there's something there. Now I tried to download it. I got my Windows computer up and running. That was actually a lot easier to take care of than I thought it would be. Because I mentioned the other day that my Windows computer had completely lost power, and I think it did something with a daisy chain of extension cords and outlet strips that feed it power. And I think I just did that moving a couple boxes of recycling from behind my couch. But yeah, I leaned over behind my couch, and it was pretty obvious which one was not plugged in all the way. And I plugged it in, and oh, look, there's another Waymo car. I plugged it in, and oh yeah, that one is empty. Did you see that? That is 100% empty, driven by a robot car. Let's follow the robot. That is not a good sound. I should really figure out what the hell that is. I mean, I think it's just a piece of trim rubbing against my tire, but okay, Waymo car turned right on the next street. As I drive into the bike lane. Oh, and it hung another right. What do these robot cars do when they're not? Where's it going? What's it doing? This is the first stage of how the AIs take over. Oh, look, there's another one, and it's empty too. I hope y'all could see that. Oh, I wish I was shooting with a better quality camera. Wow, we got 2 of them completely empty. Appear to be going to the same place. This is so wild. More Lime rental scooters down here. God, I wonder if they just kind of drive around just to kill time as opposed to parking. Because that one's turning right, and the first one that I was following is still ahead of me. Also turning right. I was expecting the 2 to keep following each other. Should have followed the second one in. It's going to be a lot easier to follow. One in front of me has got traffic in a Civic. The algorithm doesn't seem to be too timid about turning into traffic. That's worth something. Oh, hello, bus. I forget what the hell I was talking about prior to seeing self-driving cars. I'm chasing self-driving cars now. Good times. That was wild. Like, up until the last week, early Sunday morning, late Friday night, I've never actually noticed any of the Waymo cars driving completely empty without a person sitting in the driver's seat. And now, like, I'm literally see 2. Like, I've seen 3 within an hour, but 2, one just sitting there camping on 16th place, but that homeless guy doing the dance, trying to make sure the bus stops for him. Oh, I had a bus not stop for me the other day. That was pretty shitty. That's what I was talking about. I was talking about my trip to the insurance agency. So yeah, the file. Ready to turn right here on Adams. Tried it. So I got my Windows computer back up. That was easy, a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Both my browsers restored all their tabs. That's always nice when that works. Had no problem logging into my Microsoft OneDrive with Firefox. But when I tried to download that 3 whatever gig file of video that didn't save properly by the Obamaphone, like, after I was shooting all this long video, at one point it just rebooted for no apparent reason. Like, I thought I was shooting video, and then at one point I look and I see the splash screen. So I don't know if it just like crashed or whatever. The battery wasn't dead. There's plenty of battery power on it. But generally speaking, whenever something goes wrong with my iPhone, it always saves the video and it recovers it. But so far, I haven't been able to recover this video, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to put that footage up or not. I feel like it was pretty good quality footage for me as well, but I was on foot the whole time. I think my footage on foot is generally more interesting than the stuff I shoot while I'm driving. I wonder if anybody else is noticing that this vehicle in front of me is driving itself with no driver. Oops, I'm blocking the crosswalk. I don't know how I hadn't noticed until today that those are Jaguars. Jaguar logo right on it, nice and clear. I guess I generally see them at night where I can't really see that sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, I tried to download it, and then I opened it in Pizzera, which is generally my miracle software for restoring corrupted video, and it just showed no audio or video stream, but it didn't download the full 3 point whatever gigs. It only downloaded like 560 megs, which is really odd. And when I tried to download, I just deleted it and tried to download it again, and it just won't initiate the download. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that file next. I've about given up with, right now it's pretty much sucking up all the space in my Microsoft OneDrive. I'm debating as to what I do next, whether I should just run a USB cable from the Obamaphone to my computer and see if I can just drag it over that way. I have yet to try mounting that phone that way, so I'm not even sure if that's an option, or if I should try using the Google Drive as a means to transfer the file over. I'm determined to recover that video, though, if it can be done. Oh, there's another Waymo car. Kind of illegally parked with its flashers on. Just sitting empty. And it just started moving forward. I'm definitely going to have to go for a ride in one of these things. As much as I don't want to be spending any money right now. You know, it's so funny. I go into different. I like to go to a lot of city planning videos and transportation-oriented videos. Watched a live stream yesterday from Road Guy Rob. It was about me and I want to say 250 other people watching it. That was pretty wild. I didn't even know Road Guy Rob did live streams. He was just walking around, exploring the Strip in Las Vegas, trying to figure out how, from walking on the sidewalk, how to get to the monorail, and it was completely inaccessible from the street. That's quite the public transit fail there. But the monorail isn't really public transit in the traditional sense at all. I wonder how many of these other drivers around me and other people walking around me are noticing that vehicle in front of me is driving itself and it's empty. So anyway, I go to these different videos, particularly like the Road Guy Rob ones, and not just bikes and other transportation and urbanist type videos, and people are talking about, and also in R Fuck Cars on Reddit and R Fuck Car Circle Jerk. That's an interesting subreddit. And people are talking about when self-driving cars become available and when there's self-driving cars. And I always comment, there's already self-driving cars. And it surprises me more people don't, hardly anybody ever responds to those. But I mean, you've got your autopilot on Tesla, which has been problematic, and that's a whole nother tangent. There's plenty of YouTube videos you can watch that will go into more detail if you're not familiar with that old problem. But it's supposed to be a glorified cruise control, but so many people that own Teslas just look at it as a self-driving thing, and it's extremely flawed. The Waymo self-driving, though, seems to definitely be on a completely different level. And that car is empty. The car I'm following, it's empty. It doesn't have anybody in it at all. It's just driving itself. I don't know where the hell it's going. I find this absolutely fascinating. Like, at this point, I wonder if since it's electric, so since it's electric, it's, conserving fuel isn't really an issue for it. So I wonder, what the program is doing. I mean, it's executing a computer program. And I'm wondering how much of it is actually an AI. That's something worth. That's something I just don't know. But they still do use that model of spin. The ones I was saying I don't think they use anymore. I just saw 2 of them there at that scooter corral. So I'm almost wondering if what this car is doing is just simply driving around in highly trafficked areas, just as sort of a billboard, for lack of a better term. If it's just driving around here just to be visible, or if it's actually going to get somebody. Because if it's actually going to get somebody, it's taking a pretty bizarre route. It almost seems like it's doing like something that I would do as a cab driver when I don't have a passenger, where I would just kind of drive around sightseeing, looking what's up, looking for fares, looking for flags. Wow, it's actually out in the intersection as opposed to stopping behind the stoplight. That camera has to definitely be aware I'm following it. Nice to see people on the Lime scooters down here. Oh, like really young, attractive women riding them too. And there's another Waymo car. Yep, that one definitely empty too. At least the driver's seat is empty. This is probably the most poppin' part of downtown Phoenix here. It's really popping today too. It's a beautiful day out here in Phoenix, Arizona right now. I'm not sure the temperature, but I want to say it's like in the mid 70s. All right, we got somebody squeezing to the right of me where there isn't a lane. These Arizona drivers are hella impatient. Oh man. Yeah. So much following that car. There's no way I can go across. It seems to be pulling over for somebody too. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I was doing such a good job at following it too. Let's try to get over here and see the temperature on my iPhone. 72 degrees outside right now. That's what the Apple weather widget is saying. Of course, maybe I should have given it a little more time to refresh. I feel like it's warmer than that out. Such a bitch to unlock this iPhone since the thumbprint sensor doesn't work. And iOS has decided it needs a 6-digit PIN instead of a 4-digit PIN, and my screen is not so good, and my home button is not so good. Oh, 72 degrees, mostly sunny. A lot of people out and about, walking around downtown. I was really hoping I could follow that Waymo car and see it actually pull over for somebody. Because I got a feeling that's what it was getting ready to do there. It sure took what I would consider an erratic route to get to where it looked like it was pulling over for people. Still so bizarre to me how much this area has changed in the last decade. Years ago, there was mostly rundown houses around here. And the apartments that were here were like super cheap. ones on the left that are still here. It's a little unnerving driving right now because my visibility is impacted by the angle of the sun, and there's a lot of pedestrians. Ooh. That guy's, that should really be a marked crosswalk right there. That guy has a stop sign. The Waymo was going north on this street. It looked like it was pulling over to the right around here. I have no idea where it went. Oh, there's another one. There's another one on my left. I don't know if it's the same one or not. That's going to be a difficult place to make a left. There's a lot of traffic here right now. I don't think I want to make a left here. There's too much traffic to try to make that left. Black History Matters. I don't know if y'all can see that mural on the right. That's the Jazz in Arizona Center. It looks like it had paintings of 3 black jazz legends. I saw Miles Davis. I didn't see who the other 2 names were. Wow, and there's somebody living in a tent on the side of the road. I expect Phoenix PD will move that guy along soon. Neat to see so many people riding the scooters down here. That's a great part of town to live in if you're young and have a lot of money. I'm neither at this point. So. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I was really trying to get a karaoke gig down in this area. I just don't have a whole lot of desire to do that anymore. Back to this point, if I could work 60 hours a week every week, heck, if I could work 80 hours a week every week, 80 hours would kill me, but if I could work 70 hours a week, work my 7 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. every day of the week at Amazon, I'd probably do it. That warehouse has really become my safe space. I had a great time working last night, even though I only worked 5 hours. They already had more than enough forklift drivers. I just water spidered for 5 hours. Had a good time doing it. Ooh, scooter laying down. There's so many attractive women walking around here too. Free clothes, local traffic only. That guy looks very homeless. Oh, yeah, I may as well go home, try to see if I can put a little bit more effort into recovering that video file. I think I've chased enough Waymo cars today. Really wanted to see some passengers getting in one, though. Still find it so funny how in so many different places on the internet I see people using the phrase, when there are self-driving cars. Dude, that wind is now. That wind has been for a few years if you live in the Phoenix area. Now that accident where a jaywalking pedestrian got killed near, strung out on drugs, I might add. Jaywalking pedestrian got killed by a self-driving Uber in Tempe. That definitely slowed down the progress for a while, but it did by no means end it. And now you see Waymo rolling around. And that self-driving Uber had a person at the wheel who, I don't know if you all remember that when it happened, but the investigation revealed that the person who was supposed to be watching out their windshield for the driving algorithm to make a mistake and grab the wheel and or hit the pedals if needed was watching a YouTube video on her cell phone and paying zero attention to what was going on outside her windshield. So, and somebody died as a result of it. And of course, my highly cruel and popular opinion was, well, it's about time they started doing something about the jaywalkers in Tempe. But you see this neighborhood getting very gentrified now. Still kind of hood, though. And as I drive down Roosevelt, it's gonna change from gentrification to hood pretty quick. Oh, those ones on the right are looking very hood. Yeah, this is the Garfield neighborhood. It's interesting. Kind of neat to see so many people walking, though. And you hear people say nobody walks in Phoenix, but the last something popping in that house. I don't think that's actually a house, though. I think it's some kind of business or museum or something. The one on the corner, I mean, there. Garfield School. I guess now is as good of a time as any to get back to the Priscilla story. So, Monday morning, help her move a table. Really hot sex instigated by her. Really good sex instigated by her. Tuesday morning, she asked me to come back. Really mediocre sex while she tells me she should marry her. Which I still roll my eyes at that. Wednesday morning, left work at about 2 o'clock a.m. because I was super drowsy at work. Finished my TDR training. For the most part, I just sat in the class and listened to Jessica read everything off the KNet verbatim, all monotone, or whatever it was that the presentation was, that the class was. Didn't hear anything from Priscilla, so I just went directly home, so I figured I'd sleep better in my own bed. Woke up in the morning, and I want to say like 8 a.m.-ish. The time I would normally be going to bed, going to sleep. And she's like, hey, you're driving me to my eye appointment. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I said I'd drive her to an eye appointment. So I drove her to an eye appointment. I did some vlogging that day. I'm starting to get some hunger pains. I need to go home and eat. Not spend any money on fast food. This money is insanely tight right now, and I have yet to explain why, but I'm going to get to it, maybe. And now that I'm a little farther out of downtown, not seeing too many people walking. A a lot of exploration of this area the other day on video. I haven't got that stuff uploaded yet. So I walked by the remnants of Dupavia East, which is just to the south here. If you haven't seen those videos, you should check them out. It's a pretty interesting exploration of some parts of Phoenix that are changing dramatically. Anyway, so got to her place as she was getting ready to go, but she wasn't ready to go. So obviously, no sexy time happening then, which is fine. She got to get to her appointment. Could have happened afterwards, but did it? No. On the drive to the place, she kind of irritated me by complaining about my clock being off. Yeah, it's 4 minutes off. I'm well aware of that. That thing doesn't keep good time. Time for you to buy a watch, girl. Felt that I was taking too long getting her to her appointment. Well, should have thought of that when you were taking so long getting her ready. Because I definitely sat at her place for about 15 minutes. I was ready to go 15 minutes before she was. So, anyway. I was super hungry, so I was going to get some food, and she called me. That vlog got interrupted by that, which is fine. Drove her back to her place, and that's what happened. This is what happened between the segment of video where you see me driving, or I said I was driving to Wendy's, and it's like, oh, my phone is calling. My phone is ringing. It's Priscilla, and then where later you see me driving off from near her place, where I said that I woke up alone. Didn't go to her place to wake up alone. I could have woke up alone at my own place. And then she told me that that when we got back to her place, now I ended up climbing into her bed because I needed obviously more sleep before I went to work. And she said, I was saying that she had all this stuff that she was going to go back to work. Well, it ends up she didn't go back to work, and she had all these things she needed to take care of. Well, she said she went to sleep. Oh, I just ended up falling asleep. She didn't fall asleep in bed with me. That to me makes her not marriage material. If I'm in bed and wife is going to sleep, she needs to get naked and climb in bed with me where I'm naked, period, full stop. Not sleep fully clothed on the couch. My mom sleeps fully clothed on the couch when she comes to my place. My daughter sleeps fully clothed on the couch when she comes to my place. Girlfriend, potential wife, needs to get naked and climb in bed with me. And if body parts intermingle while we're like half asleep, then that should be part of that relationship. And that's not that part of that relationship. It's not worth marrying to me. Just saying. So yeah, highly disappointed that she chose, while I was sleeping naked in her bed, she chose not to sleep with me. Not to have sexy time with me, not to even sleep in the same bed as me. She chose to instead sleep on her couch while I was naked in her bed. That's a level of rejection I'm really not cool with at all. Really not happy about that. And then she left to go to Costco. Really? You couldn't do that after? You couldn't have climbed in bed with me and given me a little something to wake me up in the way a wife should be waking up her man when he's getting ready to go to work? Send him to work with a smile? When I was married, Danielle always sent me to work with a smile. Unless we were busy taking care of the kid, that was a whole other thing. But no, I woke up alone. I had to leave alone from a place where I'm not generally comfortable waking up, period. And from there, and I did vlog that drive, so I'm sure I talked a bit about it on that drive. that really rubbed me the wrong way. It really did. Like, I just felt unappreciated for the drive. I felt very unappreciated for me driving her to her appointment. And just, I mean, for all the things I just explained, that really rubbed me the wrong way. To the point where I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, that's, if after my third day of spending time with you, it digresses from energetic sex to mediocre sex, and you tell me I should marry you, really, to you're using me for transportation, complaining about it, having the audacity to complain about it, when the whole reason I'm running late is you, and then when I'm asleep naked in your bed, you're deliberately choosing to sleep fully clothed somewhere else in your apartment, and then leave before I wake up when you know what time I got to be up, so I wake up alone. Like, this is that's a whole series of fail. That's just a whole series of fail. Yeah, I'd rather be at home. Like, I'm better on my own than this. This sucks. So, yeah, rather be sleeping with my cats. Thank you. So yeah, from there, went to, so yeah, the next day I feel like we try to contact each other a little bit. I don't know. I just didn't make any plans with her for Friday night. I figured if she wants to make plans I figured at this point she needs to be more proactive. Like, she needs to be sending me dirty texts and dirty pictures and telling me how much she wants it. Because if I'm not getting that from her, I'm not that eager to like, just for the most part, being in bed with her is a letdown. I go to sleep naked in her bed. I'm hoping that whenever she's ready to come to bed, that she's going to climb in bed naked with me, and there's going to be a little, if nothing more, a little bump and grind and cuddle. But instead, no, you'd rather sleep with your clothes on your couch. Okay, good to know where I rank, because at least the cats want to cuddle. Shit. So I didn't make any plans with her at all on Friday. And actually, there was a Thursday night between that was Wednesday. What happened Thursday? I fell asleep. I slept right through Thursday. I did notice that when I was uploading my vlogs. I'm like, what happened to Thursday? Oh yeah, there was no Thursday. I slept right through. Where the fuck did... Last week it was about where the fuck did Wednesday go, but the week before is where the fuck did Thursday go. I slept right the fuck through Thursday. I definitely worked my Wednesday night shift. I don't remember much about it, other than I do remember I finished my TDR training, and I did do TDR that night, pallet receive all night. It seemed like the only doors I was really opening was 139 and 140, as I changed trucks like multiple times and kept tail loading PR. That's pretty much all I remember that night. But yeah, on Thursday I came home and knocked the fuck out. I woke up at one point and worked on uploading some videos and knocked the fuck out. And I slept in. Any plans I had to go out and enjoy Thursday night went through the window. But you know what? I mean, Priscilla could have come over and joined me in bed. She knows where I'm at, right? She shows up at my door, just knocks on the window, and ding, 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 annoyingly will repeatedly ring my doorbell to wake me up. She did that last night. It was not appreciated. Not appreciated at all. So I'm trying to put this all together in my head. So she, nice to see I can shoot over an hour of video on this phone. My last Obamaphone would have cut me off at an hour. I'm now at an hour and 10 minutes. If you're still watching, you need to get a life more than I do. But thanks for listening. So yeah, so Nothing happened Thursday. Like, that would have been a good day for her to come over and show up. That would have been a good day for her to show up and ding-a-ding-ding on my door and come into my bed and just... That would have been the time for her to make up for the massive disappointment to me that Wednesday was. That would have been the day for her to do that. Oh yeah, I know you're exhausted from work and stuff, but hey, let me just climb in here, put my naked body on your naked body and make it all better. Let me give you some sexual healing. Let me recharge your soul. But no, that didn't happen. I didn't really hear anything from her Thursday night. I don't know what happened Thursday night. I don't remember. I just feel like I slept through all of it. Friday. I think that's the day I worked a day shift. I think I woke up early. I don't know. It's hard putting the pieces together. My memory is so full of holes. Anyway, I don't remember much about Friday, other than at that point I'm just like, yeah, this is why I stopped seeing her. This level of disappointment is why I stopped seeing her, and I worked a day shift. Not quite a full day shift. My car was in the shop. Took the bus. I was supposed to be there at 8, which the day shift starts at 7, but I took the shift at 7 off the app. I think. Hope I'm not conflating this with the Friday before. I don't think I am. Oh, yeah, no, I probably am. You know, without me looking at my Amazon A to Z schedule, it's hard to keep these all straight. At any rate, what I do remember was that I went out and sang karaoke on Friday night. And I didn't even bother to make plans with Priscilla. She's not making plans with me. And at this point, like, Wednesday was such a massive frustration and disappointment for me that I'm just like, yeah, you're not really in my weekend plans. So I met my friend Corey over for karaoke. Priscilla just happened to be there. And maybe we should go someplace else for karaoke, but I don't really seem to enjoy any place else for karaoke these days. So we went to there. And Priscilla invited us to her place to Corey brought a DVD. So we had, like, the weekend before, we had watched the Kentucky Fried Movie. And Corey was telling me how it made him think of the movie that the website The Onion made, called The Onion Movie, which I'd never heard of, which he was right. Very, very, very similar. It's much more like a much more modern take, but very much like the Kentucky Fried Movie. Absolutely enjoyed it, except, of course, I ended up falling asleep about halfway through it, but that's a separate tragedy. It's me burning the candle at both ends, being tired, whatever. My sleep schedule is all kinds of whack all the time. At any rate, Priscilla had invited Corey and I to go watch the movie at her place. But doesn't have... It's like, oh, yeah, I haven't connected my DVD player to my TV. Well, her TV is a new modern TV, and it only has HDMI inputs. And since it's a pretty cheap one, it only has 2 HDMI inputs. And, of course, her DVD player is old. It just has composite outputs, or maybe composite component, but it doesn't have an HDMI output. So yeah, that's a problem. You know, to adapt that DVD player to her TV would require an adapter that is more expensive than just picking up a cheap secondhand Blu-ray player. So why hasn't she done that? I don't know. She expects me to give her one. I probably told her I was going to give her one. And I've got plenty of them. I just don't have time to fuck with that. Don't feel like I'm being rewarded enough to want to spend my time fucking with that. So, anyway, we end up deciding to go to my place. Now, she grabbed some drinks. So she bring drinks over to my place. So we end up going to my place to clear off my couch. I would have had a much better night just chilling with Corey, even if I did pass out halfway through the movie. But with Priscilla being there, she was, oh, look, there's another Waymo car. Wonder if it's empty. Oh, I'm not going to be able to really see because I got the green light and it's got the red light. I'm trying to look, though. Yeah, it's so dark, I can't tell. Darn it. I think they have tinted windshields. I really do. And they can probably get away with having a tinted windshield since there's not a driver that needs to see out that windshield. Anyhow. Now, Priscilla did start texting me after I'd already made plans with Corey, making it sound like she was all about me going home with her that night and us having some adult fun after doing karaoke together at the bar. And that would have been fine, but you know what? You need to be making these plans with me sooner, especially after you let me down as bad as you did on Wednesday, before I made plans with my friends. Because once I made plans with my friends, I'm sorry, bros before hoes. That's the code. Money over hoes, bros over hoes. Sorry. It's the way it is. You're not my wife. And even if you were my wife, I probably wouldn't change my position on that if I'd already made plans with a friend. Shit, I know friends with Corey long before I ever met my wife. My wife was a good solid decade before I ever met Priscilla, so, do the math on that. So anyway. Yeah. Well, we get to my place. Out of the three of us on the couch drinking, Priscilla did bring food. I got to give her props for that. She brought drinks, brought some little shooters of Fireball, and she brought some really good egg rolls with sweet and sour sauce, and then she made some Jiffy Pop. I didn't even realize Jiffy Pop was still a thing. She made Jiffy Pop on my stove, which is a little disturbing because my stove is pretty nasty, but Jiffy Pop is a self-contained thing. It's all good. Well, we got all kinds of blinky lights going on here. I don't understand why they just haven't put a regular traffic light here with crosswalks or a proper hawk. It's little blinky lights with a crosswalk or just... Wow, and I don't know that they're activated for pedestrians. Oh, no, they just went off. Weird. I'm near Old Town now. I'm just wasting time. I'm driving around trying to get this story out because I know otherwise I'm never going to get it out. I've been trying to get this out since last week. Finally, this is where my head's at. I need to get this out. So, anyway, not going to Old Town right now. I end up being the first one to pass out. Not that I'm not enjoying the company, not that I'm not enjoying the movie. I'm just tired. I'm sitting on the far right. Now, Priscilla was trying to sit on the far right, and I had to put a stop to that because that's where the keyboard is for my computer, and I don't want her laying on my goddamn keyboard. I'll put her between me and Corey. That should have been her clue to be feeling me up. It's dark. We're watching a movie. He's fine. He's watching the movie. Feel me up. Do some girlfriend stuff. No, I'm watching the movie and I'm nodding off because I'm tired. And I end up just like, hey, I'm sorry guys, I gotta go to bed. Sorry. So, I'm not sure how, and as soon as I was in bed, I was asleep. Now, I'm not sure how many hours passed between the point where I dozed off, where I knocked out my bed and where I woke up. But when I woke up, Corey was gone, and Priscilla was passed out on my couch. I already explained how that frustrated me at her place. If you're going to sleep and you're in the same place with me, if you think you're wife material, you need to be sleeping with me. Not falling asleep on my couch, like, I was tired, fella. Look, if you know you're that tired, I knew I was that tired. I motivated my ass to the bed. If you want to join me in bed, that's fine. I don't think Corey's going to be horribly offended. He's finished watching the movie and probably leave and lock the door behind him. Not worried about Corey at my place in the slightest. Or Corey can crash out on the couch fully clothed. I expect a little different behavior out of the girlfriend. Anyway, at one point I managed to get her, I got her to come in and join me. But it took a little bit of effort. It shouldn't take any effort. She should just be doing that. But it took a little bit of effort. And she, when she comes to the bed, I asked her what happened, and she said that she didn't know she fell asleep on the couch. Didn't know she fell asleep on the couch. Yeah, if you were tired, you should come to bed. I'll be falling asleep on my fucking couch.